Will everyone please sit down? Thank you. Members of the Platform Party, faculty, graduates, families, and friends, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to our 2022 Peabody Degree Ceremony. Today is the day we have all been waiting for. But even as we celebrate, we should also acknowledge the challenges of these last 2 years. You have conducted your studies in the midst of a global pandemic, economic disruption, a divisive political landscape, and renewed striving for justice. You have come through these challenges and others. Today, we can rejoice in all that you have accomplished. Let me begin by introducing the members of the Platform Party. To my far left is Deborah Rowe. Deborah holds the Carolyn M. Evertson Chair in Teacher Education and is chair of the Department of Teaching and Learning. Next to her is Catherine Loss, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and Professional Education. To my immediate left is Andrew Finch, Professor of Human and Organizational Development. Professor Finch will announce the graduates. To my immediate right is Candace McQueen, President of Lipscomb University, whom we will honor shortly. To her right is Sharon Shields, Senior Associate Dean of the college. And on my far right is Rogers Hall, Wachtmeister Family Professor of Education and one of our newest emeriti faculty. Earlier today, Vanderbilt recognized faculty who have earned emeriti status, including 2 from Peabody College, Lisa Prey and Rogers Hall. I want to speak for a moment about Professor Hall. Rogers earned his doctorate at the University of California, Irvine, and he received tenure as a professor at UC Berkeley before joining the faculty at Peabody in 2002. Since that time, Rogers has continuously enriched our understanding of the learning sciences and the design of learning experiences in both traditional and non-traditional spaces. His ideas about how learning is quite literally embodied, even as the learner moves, and how learning can be improved through the use of digital tools have been hugely innovative. Among his achievements at Vanderbilt is the establishment of the Space, Learning, and Mobility Lab, which has developed projects to highlight the richness of Nashville's geography and cultural resources. Rogers' studies have led to honors as a Fellow of the American Educational Research Association and the International Society of the Learning Sciences. Rogers also has served his profession as the editor of leading journals in cognition and learning sciences. And he served Peabody as chair of the Department of Teaching and Learning from 2011 to 2017. Please join me in congratulating Rogers Hall on his new status as Professor of Education Emeritus. And now to our graduates. You are the reason we are here today. Only you know the total cost of the years leading to this moment. Even so, your faculty, family, and friends know that each of you dedicated endless time and effort. Many of you pursued your degree while maintaining a career, raising children, or caring for others. You persevered and you made it. Along the way, you have learned the theories of your discipline, and you have applied them to practicums and capstone projects. You have conducted research and presented findings. Many of you have already created meaningful experiences for others. All of you have the potential to change lives and make ours a much better world. Your families, friends, and colleagues have shared your dream and accompanied you on this journey. We honor their hard work and sacrifice too. Please join me in expressing our appreciation of them. At this ceremony, we are honoring graduates who have earned the Master of Education and Master of Public Policy degrees. Each of your degrees symbolizes command you've achieved over a body of knowledge, and because they are degrees earned at Peabody, they also indicate your commitment to put your knowledge to work in service of others. Among Peabody's core values, altruism ranks highly. The college has long sought to foster human flourishing for people from all walks of life and all sectors of society. Our goal is to enhance the human condition. We concern ourselves with children, families, organizations, and communities. We prepare scholars and professionals who will add to our store of knowledge, strengthen public and private life, and lead or reform institutions. Of course, Peabody faculty and students have a special focus on learning and development. We are committed to educating future generations, including children and young adults with special needs, children who are at risk, and learners in parts of the world that are still working to establish effective systems of education. As a college, we strive to be more equitable and inclusive within our own community, even as we work to prepare our graduates for a diverse and pluralistic society. Today, you join almost 30,000 living Peabody alumni who are part of this tradition. Commencement also is an appropriate time to recognize alumni who embody the values and practices we hope our graduates will emulate. The Distinguished Alumna or Alumnus Award recognizes significant career and community achievements, as well as a reputation of excellent character and a respected and ethical work record. This year's recipient is Candace McQueen. A native of Clarksville, Tennessee, Candace McQueen has more than 20 years' experience strengthening education at every level, including classroom teaching, higher education leadership, state government, and the nonprofit world. She earned her Master's of Education in School Administration at Peabody in 1998. She also holds a Bachelor of Science degree from Lipscomb and a PhD from the University of Texas. In 2021, Dr. McQueen was named president of Lipscomb University here in Nashville. Dr. McQueen joined Lipscomb's education faculty in 2001, rose to become chair of the undergraduate education department, and was appointed dean of the College of Education in 2008. Under her leadership, the college doubled its enrollment and added 6 new graduate programs, including the university's first doctoral program. The college achieved national recognition for excellence in teacher preparation and teaching outcomes. So it came as no surprise that in 2015, Tennessee Governor Bill Haslam appointed Dr. McQueen as Tennessee Commissioner of Education. She served in that role until 2019, collaborating with and monitoring 147 school districts and hundreds of non-public and charter schools to serve Tennessee's 1 million students. As head of the Department of Education, she led 1,100 employees and administered a $6 billion budget. During her time as commissioner, she led the creation of a strategic plan called Tennessee Succeeds, under which the state experienced its highest graduation rate, highest ACT scores, and largest increases in career and technical education enrollment in state history. It always pleased me that even as Commissioner of Education, Dr. McQueen and Governor Haslam took time each summer to visit the Governor's Academy for School Leadership, a partnership between Peabody and the state to prepare Tennessee assistant principals for higher levels of school leadership. Prior to her appointment as Lipscomb president, Dr. McQueen served as CEO of the National Institute of Excellence in Teaching. She increased NIET's national profile and its influence to improve educator effectiveness. Dr. McQueen has won multiple awards for her teaching at both the K-12 and collegiate levels and serves on the board of Pencil, a nonprofit that connects public school students to the business community, Nashville's Agenda Steering Committee, and the Hoover Education Success Initiative's Practitioner Council at Stanford University. She is an alumna of Chiefs of Change, a nonprofit bipartisan network of state and district education chiefs focused on advocacy and leadership development. And most importantly, Dr. McQueen and her husband Andy have 2 children, Abigail, a Lipscomb University student, and Henry, a Lipscomb Academy student. Candace, it gives me great pleasure to confer on you the Peabody College Distinguished Alumna Award.
Well, let me say thank you, Dean Bimbo. This is amazing to be back here, certainly getting to see faculty members that I've connected with in various ways and seeing the students. I'm reminded of when I was sitting where you are, I think fanning, the same way you are, some time back. So it is exciting to be back here with you. It's also an honor to receive this award. My faculty, and I would still call them mine, my faculty, my colleagues at Peabody truly made me a better person, made me a better educator, a better leader, and so what I learned here has influenced me in a variety of ways. I'm also just as grateful for the continued partnership that I've been able to have with Peabody over the last probably 20 years in various roles, and I have always appreciated the expertise and the service that the faculty here give when they're called. And so it's a pleasure to be here. And I will say to you, Peabody, this is a special place. You're graduating today at a place that you can always call your own. They'll grow with you, they'll grow beside you, and once a Peabody graduate, always a Peabody graduate. And so don't forget that you have this group of fans that are all rooting for you as you move forward. So I'll try to make my comments brief. But I'm curious, who do you think of when you think of a leader? Who do you think of when you think of a leader? Maybe you think of someone who has leadership as part of their title. Maybe it's a president or a governor. Maybe it's the dean of your program or someone who sits on Vanderbilt's leadership team. Maybe it's the CEO of a company that you work for or you want to work for. Maybe you think of someone who models leadership in other ways, like a professor or a coach or a minister or a parent. Maybe it's someone that if you look to your right or left, they're celebrating here with you today. Maybe it's a fellow classmate that you've always looked up to as a leader. For me, I think of my mother. My mother was a principal of multiple schools. She took 2 of those to National Blue Ribbon status and then won the National Distinguished Principal Award and was awarded an amazing award in Washington, D.C. at the White House in the 90s. I think of her and how much she taught me. I have to admit, all the people I've mentioned, they are leaders. But I actually hope that you thought at some level of yourself. Regardless of your role right now, you are a leader, especially now. While almost 90% of people get a high school degree or a GED equivalency, only about 37% of us earn some type of college degree. It's interesting, if you start parsing out that 37%, 9% get a master's degree, and only between 1% to 2% go on to get a doctorate. So by the very, very moment that you started walking down and sitting down, you're among an elite group of people. An elite group of people who are now completing an advanced college degree. As a graduate now of this advanced program, you are not only credentialed and you have expertise, you can move forward, but you are now expected to take on leadership in your community. You are expected to take on leadership at your schools and your businesses, on your teams, with your family, and quite frankly, in the classroom. Wherever you find yourself leading, you are now expected to lead. Some days that actually may feel like a pretty high bar. Actually, I'll be honest, most days that feels like a high bar. That is why my remarks today center around just one point, and I hope you leave talking about it. The only point that really matters in reaching that high bar of leadership is one thing. It's one thing I learned while I was in Joe Murphy's class here as a Peabody student. It's funny that I learned this. I know you're on the edge of your seat. What is it? But I learned this as a student with Joe Murphy, but I learned it and relearned it as a dean, as the commissioner, as a CEO, and now as the president of a university. Here's the point. Leadership is about them, not you. Leadership is always about them, not you. I know there's some level of ego that always comes with being a leader, and I'm not saying check your ego at the door. We should have a little ego that helps us lead. But we're actually called to humility so that we can lead others first as opposed to putting ourselves first. And remember what humility is. Sometimes I think we define it incorrectly. Humility is not about thinking less of yourself. Humility is about thinking of yourself less. That's the crux of leadership. It's about thinking of those you serve first. It's about thinking of their needs before your comfort. It's about thinking of them before your own self-advancement. And it's about thinking of them before your own personal desires. In my world, that means putting other people first who may never pay you back. And that's your students, the most vulnerable of society. We should be putting them first. When leadership is about them and not about you, you do things that make a difference for them. You allocate resources for them, not your pet projects or your self-interest. You develop programs that I love what your dean said, that create human flourishing, that help them flourish, not one that's just easy to implement or you got a grant for it. It's about what do they need, and let's put that first. You use data. You use objective measures to make sure that you're actually making a difference, not just anecdotes. You build authentic relationships because that is what is most important in building sustainable change. And ultimately, you sacrifice comfort because you got to put in a lot of time to put other people first. And so you sacrifice your own comfort and your own self-interest to make that a priority. Simply by choosing today to pursue a graduate degree and advancing all the way to the end, you now have a responsibility to take on that leadership of others. And I want to say today, I know there were a lot of people who helped you on that journey. So this is the audience participation part of our meeting today. If you're a parent of a graduate, I'd love for you to stand and remain standing. If you're a parent of a graduate. If you're a spouse of a graduate, would you stand and remain standing? If you are a child of a graduate, would you stand and remain standing? Saw a few more. If you're a grandparent of a graduate, would you stand? Grandparent, great-grandparent? If you're a friend or a supporter of a graduate, would you please stand? And if you just thought there was food or something was exciting going on over here and you wandered over, go ahead and stand too. Let's give this group a big hand for their efforts to support our graduates. Thank y'all for allowing me to recognize you and all of the faculty and administration here. I wanted us to recognize them in the middle of the talk about leadership being about them, not you, because these people have made sacrifices for you. They've put you first. They've supported you along the way, and now it is our turn to give back. Education reformer and psychologist that we probably all know, John Dewey, once said, "We do not learn from experience, we learn from reflecting on experience." So I hope this weekend that you'll take a minute after the celebrations are over to reflect on what you've accomplished and now the high calling that you're called into. It's truly one that embodies servant leadership. My hope for you this weekend, as you reflect, is that you remember that when you put others first, you actually are increasing your own growth, your own potential, and your own leadership. You will advance if you remember to put others first. You are now charged with using your gifts for good. I now say to you, just like I've said to the Lipscomb community many a time, it is time to be a light to others and to be a light to the world around you. You now shape your communities, your workplaces, your families, your organizations, and that is what is the highest calling. Which brings me to my final thought for today. You are shaping the future of our nation. We need leaders like you who serve and put others first and have the highest credential to do so. Everything you've overcome and accomplished to this date will, by the way, not make anything any easier. You're called to something high, and leadership is not easy. The obstacles won't stop coming, but you now know what you can accomplish. You are ready for what comes before you. One of my favorite coaches, former Lipscomb Bison basketball coach Don Meyer, is once quoted as saying, "Confidence comes from demonstrated ability." You now should have the confidence to move forward with success. In closing, I want to share something that my father taught me. It's helped me a lot through many leadership moments, because in leadership moments that don't go well, you have to step back and remember what you have. He wrote me a letter before I moved away to go to graduate school in Texas. He wrote in this letter, "Remember, folks can take a lot away from you. They can take your possessions, they can take your money, they can take away your freedom, and at times people can take your self-worth. But no one, absolutely no one, can take away your education. It is the very, very best investment you can make." And then he wrote, "Keep going. I'm so proud of you." So that's my simple charge today. Remember, no one can take away your education. It's now time for you to give that back through the leadership roles you'll take on. It is the best investment you've made, and you've already made it. So, my final words to you is just like what my dad said to me. I'm so proud of you. Keep going. Thank you.
Thank you, Candace. I think you must agree with me. That was inspiring. That was great advice. Thank you for your wonderful speech. But now we've come to the part of the ceremony for which we've all eagerly assembled. The individuals we recognize have fulfilled the requirements established by Peabody College and, on recommendation by the faculty, have been conferred of that academic degree. Professor Finch, will you read the names of the graduates?
Recipients of the Master of Education and the Master of Public Policy, please approach the platform. The following persons have earned the Master of Education degree: Layla Aliva. Jacqueline Amato. Maxwell Antonelli. Ezekiel Artiaga. Angelica Back Hollander. Samantha R. Barstack. Sarah Elizabeth Bennett. Claudia Berheger. Lathram Barry. Blair Taylor Bouchabal. Emily Luis Boulos. Holly Franklin Bowman. Emily Louise Bradford. Anna Catherine Brainerd. Megan Breer. Jessica Lee Brotherson. London Leanne Bull. Claire Marie Burfiend. Richard Belinsky. Arthur Ray Butler II. Sydney Ray Butler. Danielle Marcia Cade. Samantha J. Cameron. Caroline Alyssa Camp. Alma Bryn Campbell. Anna Elizabeth Cantrell. Raven Carruthers. Grace Carlson. Chantry Allen Carroll. Melissa Jane Cavanini. Nia Charles. Chen Beijing. Christine Chen. Yali Chen. Yutong Chen. Havina Chang. Michelle Lee Chowning. Kara Ann Clancy. Ellie Christiana Clark. Cole Robert Clemens. Allison Dawn Clifton. Olivia Stewart Cochran. Kelly Ann Colleran. Anna Claire Collins. Anna Marie Coulter. Krista Ray Conrick. Caroline Corley. Victoria Ashley Cowell. Taylor Lindsay Crawford. Hannah Ashton Culbertson. Elaine Catherine Curry. Sophia Therese Delmar. Avery DePasso. Dylan DePriest. Bethany Paris DeSantis. Cassandra Marie Dooley-Smith. Jane Elizabeth Delaney. Leanna Duong. Claire Catherine Durzak. Christopher Elliott. Samaya El Musa. Madison Sarah Elwell. Sarah Emmerich. Molly Bridget Englander. Eliana Melissa Falls. Hira Farhan. Jamie Margaret Francis. Maureen Tracy Frazier. Shadlin M. Gale. Stacy Marie Gall. Qingyi Gong. Jinran Gao. Uwen Gao. Kai Gardner. Meredith Louise George. Destiny Renee Gilbert. Cameron Gillum. Abby Elizabeth Gonzalez. Richard William Gorman Jr. Katie Margaret Gorsak. Marcus Elijah Green. Anna Helena Grusho. Sarah McBride Guest. Zijin Guo. Kara Guthrie. Kalina Hajek. Alexis Hamlin. Claire L. Hansen. Rebecca Hartman. Gabrielle Prosterman Hartness. Tyler Reese Turner Harvey. Hannah Lynn Hadaway. Shira Hendler. Anna Jo Herwig. Amanda Christina Hetzel. Owen Hayden. Anna Danae Hilliker. Daniel G. Hinkle. Samantha Jovan Heiss. Kevin Taylor Hoffman. Stephanie Holcomb. Grace Madison Hollis. Angelica Marguerite Houghton. Manuel Joseph Harta. Zhongxing Hu. Carrie Jacobson. Karen Price Jakes. Kevin Johns. Anju Jang. Aniva Marie Jefferson. Wenyang Jia. Caitlin Jolly. Jenna Kamara. Karishma Karman Kotrick. Emma Kelligan. Maria Hahn. Kelly King. Marin Klostermeyer. Ashlyn Elena Lanier. Claire Elizabeth Lawrence. Marissa Leard. Christian Ledesma. Robert Tyrone Lee Jr. Emma Lil LaRue. Cushing Lee. Yaran Ling. Michael Candace Lori. Excuse me. Andrew Lundborg. Madeline Luis Marchetti. Josephine Melon Mark. Rachel Marlowe. Mary Kate McBrayer. Claire Chisholm McGrath. Caitlin McKnight. Taylor Simone McMahon. Catherine Hennessy McMahon. Rigid Maher. Kayla Lynn Maderas. Kenzie Taylor Menz. Jade Donnell Miller. Xavier Patrick Milling. Bonnie Dean Mills. Catherine Minchie. Anna Elizabeth Moeller. Julie Ann Montalero. Kathleen Corcoran Moody. Taekwon Demetrius Morton. Eric Andrew Mundinger. Marika Nadel Lamada. Mackenzie Nalvin. Amanda Nay. Deanna Noonan. Sarah Obidala. Emily Ann O'Brien. Rachel Ann Oppenheimer. Harrison John Ott. Hui Chao Pan. Stephen Pangestu. Samantha Corrigan Papp. Charles Hayden Thomas Parrish. Erica Taylor Picard. Olivia Pierce. Madison Alexandra Polite Korn. Caitlin Elizabeth Garfield Pooley. Carr Thomas Preston Jr. Cole Garrett Putman. Michael Foley Rahimzadeh. Morgan Reinhardt. Alyssa Marie Reynolds. Olivia Madison Resnick. Grace Robinson. Nicolo Roditi. Nicole Brooke Root. Catherine Grace Rule. Laura Beth Rusco. Corrigan Ivory Sadler. Maria Amelia Sanin. Timothy Allen Satterthwaite. Mackenzie Campbell Scott. Grayson Elizabeth Sheeler. Annika Short. Tariq Shotwell. Samara Sylvester. Kelsey Harold Smith. Felicia Sumar Yono. Emily Elizabeth Span. Emily Lila Claire Sprague. Olivia Ann Stevens. Jonathan Cordell Stewart. Lauren M. Sullivan. Blair Amelia Sundhausen. Francis Takimoto. Tong Shi. Dongying Tao. Bernarda Tare. India Grace Taylor. Tiak Kali Gwendolyn. Peter Taus. Lori Beth Throne. Tiffany Talaka. Nicole Torres. Joseph Harker Turner. Keyshawn Amadeus Tyler. Emily Van Dam. Emma Jane Waldman. Caitlin Lee Walter. He Wong. Jinran Wong. Tianlu Wong. Xuan Wong. Peyton Watton. Bailey Marie Webb. Jiwan Wei. Laurel Catherine Weiss. Georgie Weissman. William Chandler West. Caroline McConnell Wheeler. Emily Cummings Whitson. Catherine Margaret Wicks. Dory Elizabeth Williams. Megan Dean Williams. Leanne Wills. Ariane Lolita Wilson. Angela Yee. Brandon Young. Olivia Rye Young. Xinjia Zhang. Angie Zhou. Augustine Siyu Zhou. Iyu Zhu. Jennifer Lee Zimdahl. Elisa Christina Donna Zingman. Elena Catherine Albanese. Joel Azar. David Anthony Banker. Emily Catherine Barron. Rachel Anne Marie Bickett. Lila Mae Buchanan. Kara Jane Charpentier. Megan L. Firth. Jacob Dylan Fryer. Bernarda Guzman. Bethany Ann Mills. Jessica Hope Moses. Caroline Gail Mulligan. Ginevra Manoa. Wing Tung Jocelyn Ung. Tristine Wynn. Mary Casafa Peach. Madison Elizabeth Ross. Leela Carmen Shearer. Tanya Sorrentino. Dara Steele. Victoria Catherine Stewart. Jody Raquel Upchurch. Jie Wang, Yu Wu, Nur Abdullah, Alyssa Aloyo, Carlin Grace Barber, Isabella Marie Brennington, Mary Catherine Brown, Sonia Marie Colson, Caroline B. Demora, Bethany Shoshana Emery, Morgan Diane Gainey, Vilmares Gonzalez, Kenneth Hebert Jr., Corey James Heselton, Jennifer Howell, Amanda Jackson, Riva Kibbe, Jenna Rose Lamb, Hannah Lee, Janea Little, Uting Liu, Naomi McQuiller, Sarah Ockenhouse, Diego Pliego, Quanqing Chao, Pamela Seward, Kevin Smith Jr., William D. Sutherland, Gabrielle Alexandra Thornton, Georgia Farvarezos, the following persons have earned the Master of Public Policy degree. Caitlin Binstead, Kendall Day Carson, Samuel Correa, Kirk Edmund Morrell, Michael Wayne Musgrove, Caroline Sarah O'Connor, Raven Powell, Madeline Elaine Price, Robert Rankin Quitmeyer, Catherine Marie Rinkenberger, Elizabeth Fawn Schenk, Aaron Chelsea Smith, Brianna Summers, Wesley Wei, Chohan Chong, Hanchun Yu, congratulations to all of our graduates.
Congratulations. Today, you have joined a select group, the alumni of Vanderbilt University and Peabody College. On behalf of the faculty, I commend you. As you begin the next stage on your journeys, I encourage you to be mindful of the knowledge and skills you have gained during your time here, and to share these generously with others to benefit humankind. For you have much to give. As we close, I ask that the audience remain standing only for the recession of the platform party and the faculty. We also ask that you leave your chairs in place to accommodate a second ceremony at this location later this afternoon. Commemorative gifts for the graduates are available at the tent near the Peabody Administration Building. Our ceremony is now concluded. Congratulations again.